Hey guys, Screw Up Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
Shane, it's time to watch another episode of The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Before we start, we did get, well, at least I got a lot of heat last episode for not being overjoyed with the episode. Mm-hmm. I think you liked it a little more than I did.
Yeah.
You would say?
You were passionate about some things that you felt like they didn't do as well.
Yeah.
Because you read the comic, right?
I did. There was a couple pivotal moments from that last episode that were in the comic that I felt like, when it's a comic book, you kind of create the pace in your head. Mm-hmm. They were trying to up that emotional level, which I felt sacrificed a little bit of the survival parts of the show, which
We just kind of disagreed on should she have picked up the kid or not.
Yeah. There's been a lot of discussion or comments about that. Like, if she picked it up, would it have riled up the zombies?
Yeah, because you felt like you would have picked up and ran. Me, I feel like that sudden movement might have created more attention.
We're presenting two different things that would happen here.
Yeah.
What did happen and what didn't happen. What did happen is the kid started to freak out, and the zombies became attracted to it, and they didn't do anything about it. And the kid died, right?
Yeah.
And then because they were still freaked out, then the mom was killed as well. Whereas my point, and I understand that, people can have any opinion about this as they want. My point was that if the kid starts to freak out, one, that's going to happen, or two, you're going to pick up and run. Both result in zombies chasing you and attacking you. But only one gives you a success rate. That's just my thing. And the one reason I love Walking Dead is sometimes you have to sacrifice those world-building moments for more emotional, character-driven moments. Yeah. Which is fine. I just felt like the pacing was a little sluggish and ruined the balance between the two for me.
Guys, we only watch this show because we love it. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. I still love the show.
We got a lot of stuff to watch. I mean, I'm tired. I got to work tomorrow. We're here because we love this show.
And, I had to watch the show again because I edit these things. I watch it frame by frame sometimes. I did feel a little bit better the second time viewing it, but I think that was because my first viewing experience of it, which is the one I count the most, was done and gone with, and I could kind of watch it again with a fresher eye. But I won't discredit my first viewing. And it's just to say, so we can get started here, it's absolutely perfect and fine and encouraged for people to differ with their opinions. That's the point of watching subjective art. You can take away anything you want from it. Some people are not going to love it. Some people are. And I definitely understand that the majority really liked it, and I'm really happy for those people.
And maybe I should speak up more about the things I like and don't like.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just don't talk. I'm tired.
And you don't really react as much as I do. I've learned to
I'm guilty of not reacting. Even when I like something,
I'm just saying, in the nature of doing these, I've, removed my filter sometimes. Mm-hmm. So that whatever I'm thinking will just kind of come out.
Yeah, and also, you got to understand, a bad episode of The Walking Dead is still better than...
pretty much anything else.
We're talking about it because we love it.
We absolutely love
guys?
It. Yep. And to do the smallest of recaps, the Alexandrians were inspired by Rick, who went out to attack the walkers after Carl got hit in the eye. And they were beating them back until they almost hit the wall, and then Glenn almost died. Maggie was shooting things, and then a whole bunch of stuff was happening, and then the cavalry came, Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl, and they ended up just killing every walker in Alexandria.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's pretty much all we have, except for a group of Negan's people were killed before in the very beginning of the episode. So that's caught up, and we're going to start the show.
How much long after this is this?
I don't know.
Do you have any toothpaste left?
No, because someone's been borrowing it.
Carl!
What?
So 2 weeks?
I mean, he's already taking a picture of himself.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Oh.
Rebuilding the wall? Cool.
If you see it, if it just happens to, be right there.
You like it, right?
No, I don't drink pop.
The hell's pop?
Oh, I'm originally from Ohio.
I would kill that walker. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. But I always say that, and people always yell at me for saying it, so I'm just not saying it.
If anything, it's making noise.
Yeah. Law of averages, gotta catch up.
Yep. Law of averages, man. I live by that.
Please don't.
Give me the down meat, Mastro. I want to lay it on the line. Because everything I do, I want to do it in double time.
His face. I like to think he did that with Shane back in the day.
Maybe.
Right? That was a cool little breath of fresh air there, right?
Optimistic.
Yeah. Your tongue is blue.
Shit.
Who's going out in the woods? Have we actually seen Glenn and Maggie together yet?
I can't remember.
So Rick is going out on runs now too?
I guess. I mean, they're probably missing some people.
Yeah.
Who used to go on runs, you know?
Whoa. That's the shit I like to watch. I like that stuff.
Well, it's just nice to go on this journey with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're relieved when they're relieved.
Law of averages.
Law of averages, yeah.
Yep. Let's get this thing going.
Toothpaste.
Grab our gifts.
I'd be really worried about people following me. Yeah.
Doesn't gasoline shit like stop working after like a few months?
Yes.
Oh. I mean, they can never ever, obviously, make that a reality in these kind of shows.
Well, maybe if it's in some kind of like treatment facility, we've seen them actually take like tanks and stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just runs really bad. But it runs.
Okay.
I mean, it's just burning.
Yeah.
Yo, give me a hand with this.
I like seeing them together.
Me too.
I got an idea.
Tied up. What is it?
Ice machine, vending machine, I don't know. Looks like a vending machine.
Yeah.
Soda and candy. Why the trouble?
Always looking for that soda.
I need your trouble.
Shit!
Hi.
You know this person?
Yeah, I think so.
Come on. Whoa. Paul Robia. But my friends used to call me Jesus. Best not to try anything.
Best not to make threats you can't keep either.
Exactly.
How many walkers?
Not this guy.
How many walkers have you killed?
Sorry. Gotta run.
Maybe bring him back.
Nah. Guy calls himself Jesus.
So I would just take the shit and go.
Yeah, me too.
Firecrackers. Shit. He swiped your keys, didn't he?
Shit. Sorry.
Shit.
I would find them and murder him. Slow death.
Shit.
It's kind of
It
funny.
is a funny shot. Oh, so he was the one with the shovel. Ugh!
I got it. Why the shovel?
I'm gonna keep walking now.
What do you use a shovel for? Bury something or dig something up?
Dig his own grave. Dig a hole and shoot himself so he doesn't have to walk around as a walker. Risk hitting somebody.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd be annoying as an actor to wear that for the rest of my damn career on the show, you know?
I mean, eventually he'll get like he can get like a badass like
eye patch.
you know? Alright. Cut! I can't run anymore. That'd be me.
There's still people. We should bring them in.
Well, like this guy.
No, not this guy.
You on a date?
That sucks.
Oh,
Trying to be out there with her and shit. What's he, like 15?
something like that.
Someone they know.
This is bullshit. It should be dead. I could just leave.
Ah, dude.
You're not killing me.
Carl, you know better.
What the hell is wrong?
Who is it?
You wouldn't understand.
Got you now, sucker!
Does he? Don't mess with the Jesus.
This is gone. Do you even have any ammo? Okay. Maybe we should talk now.
Nah. Here. Guess you're thirsty.
He shook it up first. More of this, man, right?
Yeah.
More of this.
I'm loving this episode.
That son of a bitch is on the roof. Hold on.
I love this, man. This is the best.
That guy can fight. Why is he running?
They're tied up. He had a gun the whole time.
Oh shit.
Ah. Oh shit.
I'm just fucking-pointed. I feel like I lost that food too.
Law of averages. This is bullshit, man. Before I can even think about that, I need to take care of something.
Find his mom barrier or something.
Yeah.
This sucks. I wouldn't do that shit.
I mean, I'd want to kill it.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't, like, embrace it and then
No.
kill it from the back of the head with it an inch from my face.
No.
You could have killed her.
No, I couldn't. I
Was
would.
there some sort of game out there? Did you think that?
No.
Then why?
Because it should be someone who loved her, someone who's family, and I'd do it for you.
Not a terrible reason, honestly.
No, yeah, I love how they played this. Because they bet upon you being frustrated with the decision, you know?
What does it say?
Can't tell.
Safe.
Something Rick.
Some brats. I see safe.
It is pretty stupid of us to go out there, is it?
Yeah. Do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
Move.
Got the good pants on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Well, alrighty.
What do you think of that?
I like it. Alright. I don't think anything happened.
Nah, that's not what it looks like.
Rick. Rick, wake up. We should talk.
Okay.
What a great ending. Wonderful.
The first thing I wrote and the last thing I wrote was Rick and Michonne.
Yep,
But
me
let's
too.
make it the last thing we talk
Alright.
about.
Okay, sure, we can wait.
So when Daryl was like, the hell's Pop? Because, you know, in certain parts of the country they don't
yeah,
call it
we
Pop.
say pop here, but to be fair, we are in Ohio.
Yeah, so what else do they call it, though?
Soda. And then some places just call it Coke.
Well, if it's like...
Still,
Sprite.
it's just Coke.
I've
I know that's weird, but
I've
yeah.
heard people call it Cola.
Cola, soda, but we call it pop. I call it soda sometimes.
I've heard people call soda pop.
Soda pop, yeah.
Just call it pop.
I mean, we call it pop because of the carbonation, right? The bubbles.
I think it's pop because you open it, it makes a pop.
Well, it's still carbonation. It
Yeah.
makes it. I think of like the bubbles, you know, pop, pop, pop. You know what I'm saying?
But I thought that was kind of funny. How relieved are we when we see food for our heroes?
It's how relieved I am every day I see food.
Yep.
I mean, it's probably just as much.
And how disappointed we are when stuff like that happens. When it's...
Now, he did say that I got some toothpaste for it at the bottom of a lake. Does that mean that they have the ability to retrieve it?
I mean, I
if
assume they do.
If it's packaged, which a lot of that stuff looked like it, it's cool.
Yeah.
The first thing I actually want to point out is pacing, right? And I know this is going to sound boring, but I don't feel like it is. When you have amazing moments from, like, let's say the comics, right? Like the introduction of Jesus, the moment from the comics that I always really enjoyed, paced very well because the characters' actions reflect the environment. You know, they can be a little more free and open to do stuff because they don't have 1,000 zombies, you know, around them. Whereas in the last episode, they kind of just stop and talk in the middle of a zombie horde for like 3.5 minutes. And that pace doesn't match the environment sometimes. So I didn't have any of that problem in this episode. Or so I thought. I thought I might have a problem with Carl letting the walker go. Then we realized, oh, okay, so he didn't, and that kind of sucks. And then Spencer sees it, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, he would want to kill it. We realize that Carl, he walked it over to where he already saw them walking to, right? Mm-hmm. He led it there. So that was an interesting moment to me because it was layered in 3 different moments. The first 2 in which I felt like a poor decision based on both characters.
Decided by the writers.
Decided by the writers, yes, but once you find out the third one, it justifies the first 2, and you feel like an idiot for judging the first 2. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really did enjoy that. I really liked this is going all the way back to the beginning. The very first shot is creating a new hole in the belt, right? Mm-hmm. Which obviously symbolizes, you're tightening the belt. You've taken some blows, you've lost some weight, and it's time to tighten the belt and move on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that as the very first shot, and with the idea that it might be 2 weeks later. So we don't only have to, quote unquote, waste time with the aftermath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that we can just kind of move on and get into the next plot element. How many people are in Alexandria?
I don't know.
At this point? Are there only like 20 now? 50? I kind of feel like sometimes in the background we should be seeing a little bit more people.
Yeah.
But that could just be we did see people building the wall, but we only saw like one guy moving metal around. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely kill that walker outside.
Yeah, kill everyone you see.
But I was thinking about this, and this kind of talks about last episode's problems too. It may not be a problem because you need to create an atmosphere. Like, you need to know once you go beyond the wall, it's danger, and there's walkers out here. Mm-hmm. Now, on the flip side, if we're just trying to survive, I would have absolutely no walkers anywhere near me because they're making sound, they're doing all that stuff. But as a creator, a showrunner, a director, I want to be able to visualize danger, and I guess that's kind of the best way to do it, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to take a creative decision and put it over the realistic decision. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, sometimes finding that balance can lose a person at one end of the spectrum or another. So anyway, I understand those decisions, even if initially they can kind of make me balk sometimes.
Yeah. I would like to see some Maggie and Glenn stuff.
I wrote that down too. I felt like we needed a reunion because of the whole thing about Glenn just being gone, and we thought he was dead for half the first.
Yeah, we have no
closure.
Yeah,
there was no closure for there. Well, I mean, we saw Maggie, we didn't see Glenn, but I would have liked a single scene probably.
Yeah.
Of like, I mean, maybe I guess I don't mind. I mean, you have to cut something. You have to hit your time limit, right?
Yeah.
They could have had something there and decided that, well, it wasn't really as important as the other stuff. Mm-hmm. Even though I would probably say the Maggie and that girl scene was probably less important than a closure of the Glenn arc,
Yeah. Carl and that chick in the woods.
That's an interesting...
Is he trying to get handy or something, or what?
He seemed kind of angry when she said, like, let's go home. He was like, fine, he's got up and left.
He's probably planning something. And he can't, make it look like he wants to stay.
I mean,
he'll look overeager.
Was she sitting on the right side? Maybe he just couldn't see her signals.
Maybe he can't go left. Can't go right, whatever.
I'm sorry, Carl. Yeah, it was an interesting... I mean, that's what I would think that 15, 16-year-olds would do.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, I'm assuming Alexandria has a lot of empty houses now, so you don't really have to go out into the danger zone, but maybe that's how you get your kicks.
I guess.
Really enjoyed the chemistry between Rick and Daryl this episode.
I always like more Rick and Daryl.
I mean, just more of that. I mean, I already used the word chemistry, but I loved the dynamic between those two and how they play off each other. They're making serious scenes seem a little silly sometimes, but you still take it seriously.
Well, it's it's goofy when like some like what happened to them happened, like what I mean. I mean, kind of being outwitted by this guy.
They're chasing Jesus through a field. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's just juking and getting away from him and stuff. What do you feel about Jesus? What do you think he's doing?
I don't know. I mean, obviously.
Do you have any guesses?
What he's doing?
Yeah. I mean, let's look at the facts here. When we first met him, to the point where we saw him last, right? He didn't at any time, even though he had a weapon, pull a weapon.
I mean, he set those little firecrackers or those bullets to explode.
Yeah.
Before he ran into those two.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of planned. He might have been following them for a while.
Yeah. He also said when Rick was leaving him alive, but leaving him tied up, he said, Rick, it's time to talk now. Uh-huh. And then Rick's like, nah, and they're like, fuck you, and they left, and he immediately got out of the traps. That was supposed to take him like an hour or so to get out of.
Yeah.
And got on the truck. Obviously, he's not showing his hand about his full capabilities. It makes you think, like, did he mean for this to happen?
I don't think he meant to get caught the first time.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't think
he was kind of surprised.
I don't think he was fully unconscious. I think that he was waiting to see what they were going to do to judge their character. And that's why he wants to talk to him.
It's interesting you say that and call him Jesus.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and like I always say with Game of Thrones and stuff that I've already read the source material, I try to divorce myself from that and just see what the show has shown, you know? And obviously I can't not know what's going to happen next, but I can still use what they show. Because sometimes they go completely different with the character, you know? But I think that Jesus... It's going to be weird to start saying this, but I think Jesus was judging them, and I think that he took a real notice that he was left alive, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was necessarily knocked out.
Might not have been.
You know? So he could stay in control, because he seems like he was in control a lot of the times, you know? Even whenever it seemed like he wasn't. So that was interesting. My theory that he was out to dig a hole to kill himself in was, in hindsight, ridiculous. Why would you even do that? If you're going to kill yourself, jump off a cliff so that your brain is destroyed. Or shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah.
Why would you go into such an elaborate ruse as digging a hole so that you would live in it forever? I'm such a fool. You guys are right.
I thought, actually, that you were implying that he would kill himself by shooting himself in the head.
No, I mean, he had a shovel. I was trying to piece together why he was doing that. I thought, okay, so he's going to go dig a hole, go in the bottom of the hole, and then kill himself. But to not risk him walking around and killing other people, he dug a hole just in case. Yeah. You know, so he's just stuck in this hole in case he doesn't actually kill himself. Because you can shoot yourself in the head and not die. Yeah. If it's the right angle, you know?
Yeah.
If you put it in the back of your mouth or whatever.
Finis Gage.
Yeah. I mean, as we saw, that one zombie had no neck, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So, you got anything else?
Oh, just Rick and Michonne.
Yeah, coming back all the way to Rick and Michonne. It's no spoiler to say because it obviously can't be this way, but in the comics, Rick and Andrea get together. Michonne and Andrea in the show obviously had a connection. They were very close, so it's interesting that she's kind of taking up that part of the storyline. Uh-huh. But I like it. We've had that seeded with last episode with her like kissing Carl, taking care of the baby, holding the baby. I like it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It didn't bother me. I don't like it or dislike it.
Yeah?
I don't know.
I just see him as two very, very strong yet different characters.
I kind of see him as close friends more.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of relationships come from that kind of stuff.
Well, it's like Law and Order. Like I like how, you know, sometimes like the main characters they just don't. It's kind of typical when they fall in love. Yeah, I mean. Yeah. So when they don't, I kind of like it.
You thought it was typical that Michonne and Rick are together?
Yeah, Rick would be with another main cast member. Or that she would be with another main cast member.
They just killed off his last love interest. You don't think it's not atypical that he's now with somebody else immediately after the next episode?
I guess to me, right when I kind of saw it, I was like, well, it's only been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
If you wait a little longer.
What's he waiting for? Be killed?
You're right. I don't know. I don't know what he's waiting for.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I like it. I don't see it as
I don't care either.
I mean, I don't see it as like, you know, blind love or anything. I see it as...
these are two people who work together, survive together, live together.
Well, I mean, you form a relationship in a lot of ways, and then when she wears those pants, what the hell are you supposed to do?
Nothing.
There's nothing you can
do. Pants
are
killer.
They're killer. Pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked this episode. I thought it was really good.
I very much enjoyed this episode, you know. I don't want to further piss people off, but I actually liked it a lot better than last episode. But that's just me, and that's what we're going to keep doing for the rest of the season. What'd you guys think? Did you have any moments that you liked that we didn't mention, or did you have any other takes on stuff that we did mention? Was there stuff that we didn't notice? Because I always like to read those. Those are cool. If there's anything really interesting, we'll talk about next episode. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that's going to be everything for The Walking Dead, guys. You guys can go down in the description where you can see all the links to our social media. You probably missed it by now, but we did have a really awesome, 11-hour stream of Uncharted 2.
Yeah, I'm tired.
So we're very tired, so we're going to get out of here. In 2 weeks, we'll be doing Uncharted 3 and then eventually Uncharted 4 when that comes out. So keep your guys' eyes open on that. You can follow us on Twitter and all that good stuff to keep up on all the information. blindwave.net is a great resource. And, of course, subscribe, like, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm Eric.
I'm Shane.
Shane, hit the button. What? Oh.